Okay, so we are all online. Just a few seconds to let everyone jump in. Okay, so we are all, I guess. So if you don't mind, of course, feel free to open up your camera.
Your sound is too low.
Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can't hear you that much.
Okay, okay.
Maybe you need to.
I would speak louder.
Yeah, it's loud and clear. Perfecto.
Okay, now it's loud and clear. Thank you, Prakash.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just admitting some other guests. Okay, so if you feel, of course, feel free to open up your camera so we will be easier to interact. Valentina, can you hear me well? Marco, can you hear me well? Okay, okay, that's great. Okay, so good morning, everyone, and welcome. We are really excited to start this series of open day webinars on the Masters in Cooperation and Development with this new first appointment on Masters and Career Coaching. So let me introduce myself. My name is Maria Benotti, and I am in charge of the coordination of the course. And here with me, we have Marco Missaglia, who is the director of the Masters program, and Valentina Barbieri, who is responsible for the HR office at VIS. Okay, I'm admitting Anna. So today, as I told you, is the first of the 3 orientation appointments that we will have for the students who are interested in taking their first step in the cooperation career. So I just wanted to remind you right away that our next appointments we will be set on May 29, where we will be focusing on the project cycle management within the master's program. And on June 10, we will have some successful stories. So we will host some former students who are now working on the field. So they will tell us their experiences and their stories. So just a quick reminder on our call. So as you might know, the call for application is open, and the deadline to send your application is set on June 30. So we always say that as soon as possible, of course, you are invited to send us your application. The sooner the better. So before we start with our guests, I would like to remind you that, of course, we will leave some room at the very end of the meeting for questions, curiosities, for whatever you would like to ask to our guests. But of course, you can always drop some lines, some questions in the chat. Okay, so if you have some questions, you can write straight away. So I'm now pleased to give the floor to our director, Marco Missaglia, for an overall introduction on the master's program. So Marco Missaglia, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Maria, and welcome to everybody. I hope you can hear me correctly. So first of all, in this webinar in Italian, but then we realized that most participants are from abroad, and that's why we are giving this seminar in English, which is okay because the course is the master program is entirely taught in English. So we are just anticipating something you will experience at a later stage. So thank you very much for being here and for the interest you are showing toward our master program. I'm in charge of giving you a broad idea of the structure of the program, and then you'll enter the details of career coaching thanks to Valentina Barbieri. So I just want to give you a very broad and general idea of the overall structure of the program. Essentially, the master program in cooperation and development of Pavia may be subdivided into 2 main parts. One is in Pavia, okay? you'll start a traditional, in a sense, academic part of the story in November, and classes will go on until the end of May, mid-June, more or less this period. So there are, let's say, 7-8 months you will have to spend in Pavia, in presence, to attend the several classes organized by the master program. I will specify which classes in a second. And the second part is outside Pavia, somewhere in the world, for the internship experience, which is a fundamental part of our program. So Pavia and the internship, that's the first thing to be realized. And both are compulsory. I mean, the internship is not an option. The internship is a crucial and mandatory part of our program. And I will tell you something more on the internship in the second part of my intervention. Let me now tell you something on Pavia. What will you do in Pavia from November to June? Basically, the academic part of the story, along this 7-8 months, may be in turn subdivided into, I would say, 4 main modules. One module, the first one, the very first one, taught before Christmas, essentially, from November to Christmas time, is the so-called preliminary part. The preliminary part essentially is organized because the background of the typical master students, backgrounds are very diversified. There are engineers, social scientists, and so on and so forth. And that's why we wanted to organize this preliminary part to create a common language, a basic knowledge on some very simple tool, economics, the geopolitics of the world, etc., etc. So that's a preliminary part to create a common language and a common background from November to December. Then, after Christmas, the second module is dedicated to development economics, okay? And the reason why we put some emphasis on development economics is simply because, I mean, it is so essential to know at least the basics of this language to deal. We all know that you don't want to become economists. We are fully aware of this. That's very important. But we also know that some economic language, the ability to understand the World Bank document or the ability to criticize the document written by the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, etc. These are important skills for anyone working in the development and cooperation field. And that's why you will have to pass through this module. Then the third module, which is most probably the most desired, required, important of the whole master program, is the module on the project cycle management, PCM. And the very interesting part of this module, essentially in this module, you learn how to think a new project, how to write a new project, how to get funding for the new project, how to evaluate the results, the outcomes of the projects, etc., etc., etc. So you'll go over the entire cycle of the projects. That's why the name of this module is Project Cycle Management. And the very important thing is that contrary to the first 2 modules, the first 2 modules are taught by academicians, by university professors. This module on PCM is taught by professionals, by NGO people, in some cases by people coming from international organizations, etc., etc. And this is really extremely important. The role of NGOs in our master program is a very strong one. It's not only the fact that we have some guy coming from NGOs and teaching some module. No, it's much more than that. NGOs are from the very beginning of this master program. We started almost 30 years ago. And from the very beginning, people from NGOs, and especially from three Italian partners NGO, but not only them, they are part of the board of the master program. They are part of the discussions we have to improve, to change, to adapt the structure of the master to the new features emerging around the world, etc., etc. So this module is an extremely important one. And believe me, in this module, you'll learn a lot of practical skills, okay? And I want to emphasize this because at least so far, so if you count the number of people having a job after 6 months, let's say, after having completed the program, till now, the numbers are very satisfactory. And I'm convinced that a significant part of the explanation is the relevance given to this PCM module. And then there is also in Pavia a last part dedicated to the so-called hot topics. These are seminars, for instance, okay, dedicated to topics that may differ from year to year. I don't know. Over the last 2 years, we had to say something on Ukraine and Russia, okay? Over the last 10 years, we had to say something on the growing role of China in the cooperation field, etc., etc. So there are topics that may change depending on the specific historical phase we are operating in. Okay. By the way, I forgot to tell you that we are part of a network which is called CDN, Cooperation and Development Network, with several brothers and sisters, similar master programs, twin master programs taught in Nepal, Kathmandu, in Colombia, Barranquilla and Cartagena de Indias, in Kenya, Nairobi, in Palestine, in Bethlehem. Okay, so and now new partners are joining in Albania and Tunisia. So being part of this network means that we have the possibility to organize common webinars, and in the next days we'll have a joint webinar with all these friends and dedicated to a hot topic. Okay, so that's the meaning of the last part of the master program in Pavia. Then, after the end of May, mid-June, etc., etc., the internship story begins. It's a very fundamental part. Okay, first, in general, you won't have to find your own internship because we provide, thanks to NGOs and thanks to our collaborators around the world, we provide a list of several options available. Okay, it could be even 50 or 60 available internship possibilities. Okay. That said, of course, find and organize your own internship in accordance with the master program. However, you don't have to get crazy, okay? Because in any case, a very generous list of options is available thanks to the master program. Second, over the last 4 years, we managed to, thanks to the European Commission, we managed to fund the internship, meaning that it means outside Italy, in our case. Those who went outside Italy for their internship, they managed to get a financial assistance from 700 to 900 euros per month during the internship time. Okay, and that's a significant help. I think it may help a lot. And internships usually are with NGOs, in general, civil society organizations. In some cases, it could be with international organizations. In some cases, it could be with private foundations, etc., etc. So, and in several cases, internships are really the beginning of your professional life, not because you'll find the job in the same organization where you are doing your internship. No, it's because internships are a great opportunity to know people, to meet our former students. We have a very large network of former students exactly because we started 30 years ago. Okay, so I think it's a great opportunity, well beyond the financial assistance I was mentioning before. Last but not least, because I already talked too much, this year, thanks to the support of the Italian government, and in particular of the Italian Agency for Cooperation and Development, AICS, we will be able to offer 10 full scholarships to students coming from low and middle income countries and low and middle income countries. If you visit the World Bank website, you'll see the list of low and middle income countries. So, and I think this is really a great opportunity because full scholarships means you won't have to pay fees, you'll stay for free in Collegio Borromeo, you'll eat for free in Collegio Borromeo. So basically the amount of personal expenses will be almost eliminated or very significantly reduced. We are also able to offer some help to Italians. Okay, of course, it depends on the financial condition of the family, etc., etc. But over the last years, we offered scholarships, and by partial scholarships, I mean that, for instance, you have to pay 50% of the fees instead of paying the total amount of the fees. So that's a very rapid, summary of the master program in cooperation and development in Pavia. And if there are questions, then it will be a pleasure for me. But I don't want. I know you are here to listen to this story, a fundamental story of career coaching. Okay, which is one of the reasons why the job placement is very high, thanks to Valentina Barbieri. So thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Marco, for such a clear introduction. Okay, yes, the program is not only about teaching modules and making exams, of course, but giving the student the possibility to make steps on their own career. through specific career orientation and vocational guidance with meetings with human resources experts. And this is the case of Valentina Barbieri, which is, who is, as you know, is responsible for the HR office at the VIS. And the core part of this coaching is led by Valentina. So that's why we invited her to have a talk with us. So Valentina, please, thanks.
Thank you so much, Maria, and thank you, Marco, here, and to tell you more on what we are going to do in the career guidance seminars and workshops. I will be in Pavia in the first part of the master, as Marco was saying. That is from January to February, and I can see that my guide aimed to offer you an overall overview of the especially in the CSOs, civil society organizations, and giving you the best, to offer you the best way to introduce yourself in the developed cooperation job market. My seminars are divided into 3 parts. The first one is a presentation of development worker, a development worker in international and Italian NGOs or CSOs. What are the job profiles, the career categories, the Italian and international context that is changing so rapidly. Just before beginning this webinar, we were speaking with Marco about the trend, the trend in the humanitarian sector, the rising of the humanitarian sectors with respect to development sectors within the same framework of Italian cooperation. The second part of my seminars would be the construction. We're going to work together in building your CV and a strong and effective cover letter. This would be in a workshop. In a workshop way. We're going to get together in writing the most effective CV, the most effective cover letter to introduce yourself. First of all, introducing and applying for the internships, and then in the real world afterwards. And so what could be the most important tips for writing a CV about layout, about content, about tailoring your CV to the vacancy, to the application, and showing what I'm going to say, it's your personal brand. Every one of you is unique, is typical. So every one of you can write his, her perfect CV according on what you are and what you are going to offer to our development job market. And then a cover letter. That of course goes with the CV. The third part of my workshop is focused on on job interviews. So we are going to play together. We are going to simulate some job interviews, and we are going to play the role of interviewer and the role of a person who has applied for for a vacancy, and we're going to explore the different types of questions that can be used in the job interview, the different kind of replies, how it would be better to reply to some particular question, and what will be the content of a job interview. So all these parts would be the parts, would be the overall part of career guidance. So an overview, writing a CV, writing a cover letter, and building together a job interview. These will give you, after these modules, will give you the possibility to introduce at your best into the job development job market, beginning by your first application. That would be the internship application. So I think that for the moment, I have presented my part, my contribution to this masters. But if you have more question, you can ask me, Maria and Marco. We are here for some moments again, so we are pleased to reply to your questions. Thank you for the moment.
Thanks, Valentina. So as Valentina was saying, we have we have room for questions and curiosities on the master's program, on the internship, on the seminars, and on the core part of the career guidance and coaching. So please go ahead if you have any questions, any curiosities.
I am Martina Costarelli. I actually have a question about the models. The first model, I didn't quite grasp what it's gonna be, like this common background. I want to know like which subject we are going to see, because I checked on the website, but I see an overview about the course, but I can see like the exams, the courses. So just want to have some indication about that. And another question is about the accommodation, like for staying in the campus, like it's inside the fees, or it's another expense that we have to take, that we have to pay. Yes, that's.
Thank you very much, Martina. As to the content of the first module, so the common language, the common background, the preliminary module. So in this preliminary module, there are three topics, basically. Basics of macroeconomics. So national accounts, what is GDP, how to measure GDP, etc., etc., etc. So basic macroeconomics. Then there will be another topic, which is basic microeconomics, okay? And another topic, which is in some sense the most important, which is the geography of development, okay? So having a decent knowledge of the main features and tendencies of the different world economies. So I would say geography and geopolitics of development, okay? In some sense, I would call this topic the picture of the world. At the end of the day, we are in a master on cooperation and development, and we must know precisely the picture of the world. Okay, so this topic is a mixture between geography, statistics, geopolitics. I would say the picture of the world. Okay, and I don't know whether I answered your question, Martina.
Yes, thanks.
Of course. Okay, and on top of this, as to the accommodation question, okay, so far the large majority, by large majority, I mean 96 or 97%. So almost the totality of students are located in Collegio Borromeo. Okay, Collegio Borromeo is the physical place where the master program takes place. Okay, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. Please have a look to the website of college. If you look at our website, you'll see a lot of pictures. You'll have a flavor. I would say more than a flavor of how fantastic Collegio Borromeo is. And well, we have an agreement with Collegio Borromeo, and in the name of this agreement, most students remain there, such that all included, by all I mean, be careful, eating 3 times a day. So breakfast, lunch, etc., eating 3 times a day, and the quality of food is excellent Italian food. So and it's a great opportunity. So eating 3 times a day, your personal room with your personal bathroom, etc., plus internet, plus the cleaning service of your personal room, plus free access to the seminars and cultural activities and courses organized by Collegio Borromeo itself. I mean, a lot of students of ours are attending a course of, let me say, Arabic or French or whatever you want. There are so many cultural and educational activities organized in the framework of Collegio Borromeo, and there is free access. Well, this package, in this all-inclusive package, has a value this year of 700 euros per month. Okay, and the reason why most students accept this package is because if you try to rent an apartment or a room outside the college, and then you must add expenses for internet, etc. You have to pay for the different bills, etc. The cost is much higher. Okay, so unless you manage to divide the apartment with some of your colleagues, to share the apartment with some of your colleagues. I'm quite sure 99% that if you are alone, it's much more expensive to stay outside Collegio Borromeo than inside Collegio Borromeo. Whereas if you share with someone else, it could be different.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Hello, Marco. Hello. Sorry.
Hello.
This is Samira.
Samira.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, all colleagues. I'm sorry because I was in exams, so I'm running a bit late. I'm sorry about this, but some of my students are already there in the webinar. Sorry.
Great. Thank you so much, Samira. Can you hear me?
Yes, if you're talking to me, I can hear you. Thank you for you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Marco, and all colleagues.
Thank you. Thank you, Samira. and I don't know whether you managed to listen to the first part of the webinar, to the general presentation of the master program. And in any case, Samira and Samira's students, you are more than welcome in case you didn't manage to connect at the very beginning, and you can write an email to me, to Maria, and it will be a pleasure to clarify something which is not clear at this stage. Because you didn't have the opportunity to be connected at the very beginning. So do not worry, it will be a pleasure. By the way, so let me take the opportunity of the presence of Samira. Samira is a colleague, Samira is a professor at El Manar University in Tunis. And El Manar University is a new partner of the Cooperation and Development Network, and this, starting from this year, we will be able to organize some exchanges of students from Tunis to Pavia and from Pavia to Tunis, and these are the great things of academic cooperation. And in several cases, these are opportunities that can truly change the life of young people. So I want to thank Samira very warmly, because I believe in these opportunities.
Marco, I see that Sarah has a question. So Sarah, if you can please go ahead.
Maybe Arina.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Sarah Shalensky. I did my bachelor and master in development sciences and international cooperation. So this is, I would really like to participate to this master program, and thank you for today's meeting. I have two general questions. So my first one is, how many places are available in order to attend this course? And the second one is concerns the scholarships. I read on the site that there are 20 scholarships that found the 50% of the master's cost. But my question is, how many of these scholarships are available? And if we win, for example, the scholarship, if we still have to pay the 700 euros per month. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Sarah. As to the total number of students, we don't have a fixed number. Okay, the average, it's just an average, okay, is, I would say, around from 22, 23 to 30, depending on the years. Okay, so that's the average number you might be interested in. Because at the end of the day, it also depends on the number of applications, on the availability of scholarships. There are several factors affecting the number of students actually enrolled. As to the second question, which was about scholarships, well, there are 10 full scholarship this year to the benefit of people coming from low and middle income countries, where low and middle income is a classification of the World Bank. Okay, so 10. And full scholarships means that the beneficiary of the scholarship won't have to pay the fees and won't have to pay the 700 euro per month to stay in Collegio Borromeo. Okay, so this guy or this lady will only have to pay for cigarettes and cinemas. So basically personal expenditures. On top of this 10 scholarships, which are funded which are directly funded by the Italian government in the framework of this project I was mentioning before, in this cooperation and development network project. Okay. On top of this, usually we are also able to offer some help to other students. Okay. Not necessarily coming from low and middle income countries. Because, of course, if someone is coming from a rich country, that doesn't mean that this person is rich. So, depending on the personal situation, in some cases, we can offer some help. Example, you, instead of paying 8,000 euros for the fees, you could pay the 50% of this amount of money. Okay, this is called a partial scholarship. Or maybe you will have to pay the fees, but you won't have to pay for the 700 euros to remain in Collegio Borromeo. There are different combinations, different possibilities. Of course, the number of beneficiaries is strictly related to the number of applications and to our budget constraints. Okay, usually it is like this inevitably. Okay, if we have a decent number of people paying the fees, that means that we are able to offer a decent number of partial scholarships, etc. So, whereas the 10 scholarships, the 10 full scholarships are guaranteed, the number of 2 years.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
I see Tokozani will raise his hand, so you can go ahead.
Thank you for this session. My question was, how soon after the deadline of the applications do we get a reply or results of our application? Thank you.
Okay, usually, and eventually Maria will tell us that I'm wrong, but let me try. Usually, if you apply next month, so to speak, okay, you'll get an answer by mid-July. That's the typical date, okay? By mid-July, you'll get an answer. And in general, we send the answer in both cases, in the positive and in the negative.
Okay.
And maybe I forgot something important. Usually, sending the application is not enough. You'll be in several cases, in most cases, you will be requested to have an online discussion with us. Okay. To go through the selection process.
Okay, so I see Umay Manuali who raised the hand. Okay, go ahead.
First of all, thank you for your time and this and the information. I came late. I had class. I'm sorry if you already discussed this. I want to know. I will tell you my situation. So I'm currently a master student in culture and gender studies, but I'm pretty much interested in this master, and I had a bachelor in English literature. So is there any restriction regarding the kind of bachelor I have, or is it kind of open to social sciences, law, or etc.? And thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your question. No, there are no restrictions at all. Okay. And the reason is simple, because in the cooperation field, needs are so diversified that there wouldn't be any reason to impose restrictions.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Okay, I see also David. David, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, good afternoon. I'm David Barasa. I'm from Kenyatta University, that is Kenya. So I just wanted to pass my greetings and appreciations to the CDN program. Yeah, I heard Prof mentioning about something very important about the relevance of the program. Actually, I am one of the beneficiaries of the CDN master program. That is a twin sister master from Kenyatta University called Masters of Economics, Cooperation and Human Development. So I went through the program and it was very successful. I gained much knowledge. And again, right now I'm in the University of Pavia, where through the program I got a chance to participate in the Erasmus Exchange program, which I foresee many and many opportunities ahead. So I'm really happy, and yeah, the program is very relevant. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your very kind words, David. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
And so maybe you gave me the opportunity to add just a point. I would say that the tutoring activities are very serious activities in our master program. So we take care of students. And especially thanks to Maria Benotti, okay? And I think this is really a great detail. So you are not left alone in finding the internship, in dealing with some academic difficulties, in dealing with accommodation, these kind of things. So there is a kind of permanent tutoring which might be helpful. One. And second, thinking of David Barasa, I was thinking that I wanted to add this point. The program is not just a professional course, okay? You come here, you learn to do this, to do that, and then you look for a job. No, the program is an intellectual adventure. And the very fact that first you share the class with people coming from everywhere in the world. Just to give you an example, this year, your colleague, we have people from 4 continents, okay? And I would say that this fact as such is a great possibility, you know? And second, the idea of the intellectual adventure, you know? So the possibility of exchanging ideas, of listening to several seminars, to go through political debates. I think this is all part of the story, no? On top of the specific details I tried to highlight before. So thank you very much, David.
Professor Marco, can I take 1 minute?
Of course, please, Prakash.
Yeah. Hi, colleagues. Good evening, good afternoon. I'm from Kathmandu, Nepal. Let me tell you in 2 minutes about my story. I also studied in Pavia back in 2008 to 2010. Students to went there and study it because I was working in an NGO that time, and I was looking for some master program that can step up my skills and expertise. This is the reason I went there. And soon after I came back to Nepal, I started working with the skills and expertise. I started working in the United Nations, particularly in International Labour Organization as a national project coordinator. And I have been there for many years, managing project, dealing with different kind of project. Beside that, we also managed to establish this masters in Kathmandu, Nepal. And this masters in Kathmandu, Nepal from 2012, it has been running very, very smoothly. So let me highlight a couple of things from this Pavian experience might be useful for you because I was in an exact scenario in that time. And I found that the teaching learning arrangement in Pavia, both academic and a practical side, is very, very interesting and very useful. And you are not only realize this while teaching and learning, but it's also utilize it when you are working in your work. The second important aspect I found there is the diversity of the classroom, diversity of the teaching people. So this larger network is very, very good strength of Fabian Masters that I realized in my time. And the network that will also, the diversity also link with the network that you will have established with the NGOs and the people and professionals, those that are working both in academia and the practical side. The cooperation and development, if you are really willing to improve your career or looking for your advanced career in cooperation and development, this is the perfect fit. I found that there are many masters around development studies, around similar courses. This cooperation and development masters is the perfect fit for people. Those are willing to become a project manager, a project officer, project coordinator to deal different thematic projects, regardless of any theme. So because you will get the skill set that is applicable for your professional life. I'm telling you the fact that this is my experience in my work, and this is the tool that I got, and I have been using it for the last 20 years. So that's the key message I want to give you. And I'm sure you will have a lot of experience and a very, very rewarding life in Pavia. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Prakash, for your kind and generous words. And again, you're giving me the opportunity to tell you all that cooperation is truly cooperation. Cooperation is bilateral and multilateral. I mean, it's a true exchange aspect of our master program. This experience gave us the opportunity to learn in a continuous feedback with a lot of people from so many corners of the world, and that's really extremely enriching. And the other aspect that Prakash was rightly emphasizing is multidisciplinarity. When you'll work as project manager, there would be so many diversified tasks, and you'll get some benefits from having studied a bit of this, having heard the voice of the sociologist, the voice of the economist. I think this is a key tool in our educational path. So thanks a lot, Prakash.
My pleasure indeed. Yeah. And from that on, I have been supervising interns almost every year. And this is also a network that internship is very, very enriching to create your professional life more profound and more skillful. Thank you.
Thanks. I see Miriam
Hello?
hands on.
Miriam.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mariam Abdel Fattah. I'm currently enrolled in the master's program in Migration Governance, Policies and Cultures at the University of Tunis Al Manar. I would like to inquire whether, as a Tunisian applicant, I only need to complete the required application form and then proceed with the online interview, or if there are any additional procedures, I mean, specific to my case. And I also have a question regarding the duration of the program. How long does it last? And thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Miriam. So, the same, so you'll send your application, okay? How specify that you're coming from Tunis El Manar, okay? Because in the IX project I was mentioning before, there is a spatial treatment, meaning that, okay, one or two scholarships will have to be devoted to people coming from MENA countries, from the Middle East, and Tunisia is part of the MENA countries. Okay, so send your application and let us know that you are sending your application, because this is part of the opportunities opened by the IX project.
Okay.
I don't know whether I answered your
Yes,
question,
thank
Miriam.
you. You asked the first question, but the second one is about the duration.
There was a second
Yes.
question. Okay, sorry.
It's
Can you repeat the second
okay.
question?
It's about the duration of the program. How long does it last?
Okay, so in classes in Pavia will last from November to June. Then there is the internship, and the duration of the internship. The duration of the internship is from 3 to 6 months, no less than 3, no more than 6. Okay. And then the final step is the discussion of a thesis, which is not a traditional academic thesis. It's extremely related to your field experience during the internship. Okay. Overall, so if you put these things together, the months in Pavia plus the internship plus the thesis, overall the duration is 14 months. Okay, meaning that you start in November 2025 and you'll get your diploma in January/February 2027.
Okay, clear. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Okay, so if no other questions are there, just a few seconds to wrap up and, of course, see if other questions are there. Otherwise, of course, thanks everyone for being with us in this conversation. And I will be glad to share with you the recording of this session, of this talk. So you will have the time to revise this talk, and maybe to share this talk with the students and contents and friends who are interested in the master's program. So thanks a lot, everyone, for being with us today. And of course, as I was writing you can always reach out to me, writing to the email of the Master Secretariat, okay? So you find my email in the chat. So thanks a lot, and we will see on May 29 for the next Open Day webinar on Masters and the Project Cycle Management. Thanks a lot.
Bye
Thanks,
bye.
Marco and
Thank you very
Valentina.
much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.